Let's see here.
What was the next one? I accidentally closed it down because I'm dumb. So let's see here. What was here? Alternate universes, real or fake?
There is a mathematician who says they're real. I don't know if they're real. I would imagine trying to discover them would be tantamount to becoming a god, though. I can't even begin to imagine what you would have to do in order to do that. There's all kinds of wild theories and speculations out there, but no one really knows. So I would like to think they exist. But that's in much the same way that I would like to think that, I don't know, the Tooth Fairy is real. If only because I like the idea of a creepy little fairy sneaking into little children's rooms at night and stealing their unwanted teeth. Running around with a freaking tooth necklace of small children. God, that sounds like a horror movie. I'm sorry, guys. That's like a horror movie right then and there. That's like some Romero stuff. Will we really be putting people on Mars within 10 years with SpaceX, NASA, or another agency? The short answer, I doubt NASA is going to be responsible for us putting people on the moon or on Mars. It could happen. They're still heavily involved in the research and development of new technologies related to astrophysics and space travel. However, we haven't developed a new rocket in a very, very long time. I have surprise hugs for some reason. I'm hugged. So, the question really is, or I should say the answer really is, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be NASA or if it's going to be someone else that puts a person on the moon, or on Mars rather. But, if I had to guess, it would be not NASA. Now, I'm going to give you a few different reasons for this. And for that, I actually need to pause this and pull up my notes. So, the amount of energy that we need to go from one planet to another is described as the delta V. This is determined, or I should say is directly affected, by the synoid, am I pronouncing that right? By the synodic period, which is the method of explaining the relative positions between two relative bodies, or two celestial bodies, in this case, Earth and Mars. So as Earth and Mars are orbiting around the Sun, their orbits don't actually match up. In fact, the Earth and Mars are not in a perfect circle around the Sun. There's actually a bit of an oval shape to Earth's, and there's a bit of an oval shape to Mars. So the synodic period is how we explain that. We time our launches so that the Earth and Mars, or I should say our mission, so that the Earth and Mars will be as close to one another as possible, which will save us a lot of time and a lot of energy. These periods are, what is it, every 26? Every 26 months. 26 months, I believe it was 15 years, yes. So, because of the way Mars orbits, the synodic period does this weird thing where it restarts every 15 years. And it peaks at during this 15-year cycle, as I was. I'm misreading my notes here, guys, I'm sorry. So, This is exactly what I've written down. Due to the weirdness of Mars's orbit, the energy needed in the low energy windows, which is that 26-month period, varies on roughly a 15-year cycle. The energy required for such a mission being halved during those peaks, which means that it's far more efficient for us to wait for those missions or for those launch windows. No one in their right mind is going to try to launch when we don't have one of those windows available to us. So for instance, we had one of those back in 69, one in 71, another low in the 86 and 88 launch mission windows, and then the cycle started over. Our next one is not until 2033. No one's going to try launching to Mars from Earth until 2033 because it just takes too much damn energy. Now that's using our current technology. There is currently a theory called the Hoffman transfer orbit, which takes about 9 months to get from Earth to Mars, which is pretty damn impressive. I actually don't know a whole lot about it. I'm going to do some more reading on that and figure out exactly what the process is. So if we can get the Hoffman transfer orbit method down pat and get all the math done, and we can get the funding to go when we aren't in that awesome low point in the delta V, or I should say in the synodic period. God, why words? Then that'd be great, and we could easily get there in 10 years if we had, if we can get that down, and if we can get the technology in place to actually get people there alive. Right now, we have limited ability to even maintain our own International Space Station. It's a catastrophe if something breaks on there. Not to mention, we don't really have a way of getting them back. Now, Earth's gravity is a lot stronger than Mars, so it's going to be easier to get back from Mars to Earth, but you still need to get off of Mars. And what do you want to do? Launch a second rocket? Do you want to build a rocket in space? Because otherwise you're launching one rocket strapped to another rocket all the way to Mars, and then you're going to have to land it in such a way that you can then fly one of those rockets back. Either that, or you're going to have to fly a rocket to Mars, or a ship at this point, to Mars, pick people up, and take them back. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how we do this. I think if we put our minds to it, we could do it. We could get people to Mars, at least en route, in 10 years. I don't see it happening with the next window being in 2033. 2033. And our president doesn't value space exploration. He just doesn't. He would rather set up a lunar colony for no reason. And, put money into a superfluous space force, which we already have. We already have a space force. It's under the command and guidance of the United States Air Force. They maintain our satellites. They track debris clouds. Neil deGrasse Tyson actually wrote a book about this. It's all about the relationship between NASA and their space technologies and the Air Force. Well, military contractors. Well, astrophysicists, NASA being attached to that, and the Air Force. It's worth a read. I'm looking at picking it up, actually, and I will post in the description below what that is called, and hopefully get a little bit more information on that. So there's a lot of questions right there. So this one's from someone else. Quote, what's the most retarded way you have heard of someone breaking a vehicle you are working on? Okay, so first of all, I'm not a mechanic. I don't actually work directly on the vehicle. I do work on things attached to the vehicles, though. I'm a welder and machinist, and I do things in recovery. So what's the dumbest thing that has been done to the vehicle to deadline it that I have been somehow involved in? I got 3 examples for you. That's right, you're not getting 1, not 2, but 3 answers for 1 question. Seriously, Groupon, eat your heart out. So the first one, this was years ago, still in Kansas, and there was this tank. So your Abrams In order to get in and out of the Abrams, you use the commander's chair. The commander's chair is right underneath the entrance to the turret, or the hatch rather, and it's just a little fold-down seat, just and it locks in place. Well, somebody had one too many donuts apparently, and they broke it. They sat on it too hard or stepped on it too hard or something, and it broke. There's 2 sets of 2 hinges with a pin going through them, and those 2 hinges connect to the hinges on the seat so that the seat can go up and down, and then it's got a little latch that it drops down and hooks into little hooks on a metal bar. I know my sign language here is helping you guys immensely. But basically, one of those bent so bad it snapped the pin, and the other one snapped off completely. So we had to snap the one that was bent and get the pin out of it, which wasn't too bad. The tank mechanics bent the turn that on. Maiden voyage. The mechanics fixed the hinges inside the tank. Okay. And we have flight. Oh god. Oh, it's painful. Cloud, do a barrel roll. Or Fox, do a barrel roll. Okay, so there's a, oh god, definitely need for more of that. Okay, saying to, oh, no. Okay. I kind of want one more gyroscope. I'm not sure yet. So we had to weld that together. But here's the thing, because that chair was broke, that deadlined the tank. That's right, a tank was deadlined because of a chair. Okay, well that's not so bad, right? Okay, I got better for you. So this one, I actually am not allowed to tell you when this happened because OPSEC. But there was a 50 caliber machine gun. Oh god, I landed far harder than I meant to. A 50 caliber machine gun inside your Abrams. If you ever look at a M1A2 Abrams, you've got your main gun, the 125 millimeter cannon, and then you've got this smaller little tube. There's actually a 50 caliber machine gun in there. And the point of that 50 caliber machine gun is, if your optics go out on the main gun for some reason, you can shoot a mofo with that machine gun, and if the rounds hit, your tank round is going to hit. Well, they weren't paying attention, and we have the old M2 machine guns, not the M2A1s. The M2, you have to do manual headspace and timing every time you put it on a barrel. What that means is the timing is when the firing pin hits the round, and if that's off, you blow up the weapon, or it just doesn't cycle correctly. Or the firing pin will go to hit the primer and get stopped because it's too far away. Timing, that's timing. Headspace is the actual bolt moving forward and defining how close that is. It's a pretty narrow tolerance, measured in the thousands. They didn't do it, so they blew up the receiver. Now the damage wasn't awful. They cracked the upper, they cracked the feed tray cover. They bent it. It went from this to this. But they rendered that weapon system inoperable. Well, because they rendered an intricate words, because they deadlined that particular weapon system, they deadlined the entire tank. Oh boy. Okay, not a problem. What we gotta do is we just need to take this feed tray cover off and replace it with another feed tray cover from another machine gun. That's too easy. Tank will be back to normal. Not a problem. We talked to the supply store and he's like, no. What? No, I don't know that I can let you take apart one of my other machine guns to replace this other one that my people broke. Okay, in a company the size of yours, the loss of one tank brings you down too low. Your fighting strength is no longer mission capable. And because one of our companies was not mission capable, the entire battalion was not mission capable. This went on for 3 days. We finally fixed it. It just took way longer than it should have. It should have just been a real quick, oh, okay, let me grab this other machine gun. You can have the feature cover off of that, and we'll just order parts for this other one that you've now cannibalized. Not a problem. Donezo. The third one is another one I can't really tell you when it happened, but somebody threw a rock and cracked ballistic glass. Deadlined the vehicle. Yeah, they just sort of lightly tossed the rock and it went chink! And it was actually more of a PAH! Sound. But they crashed the glass pretty bad and probably deadlined that vehicle. So yeah. So I've got 2 more questions. Good Lord. If I could choose any place to retire right now, where would it be and why? Money is not an issue in this question, I checked. And I have the message history, so no takesies backsies, you know who you are. I would buy a property in Germany, in Kansas, and in Washington. And over the course of the year, I would just switch between the 3. Because why should I live in one place when I can retire in all 3? Gotcha. And if I can live in any fantasy or science fiction universe, which one would it be and why? I struggled with this one, and then the answer hit me like a fist of metal. Either the setting of Full Metal Alchemist, for 2 big reasons. 1, alchemy. Come on, guys, that'd be awesome. And totally up my alley, too. 2, automail. They have functional prosthetics. The only thing they don't have is tactile feedback. So if Edward Elric touches something hot, he doesn't feel that it's hot. That's the only thing. And can you imagine with our current technology what we could do if we had automail back in 1912? That'd be awesome. Downside is your ruler's probably trying to sacrifice the entire country to make a stone so that he can become a god of sorts. And the other one, of course, come on, it's me, Pokemon. Because Pokemon. Because I want nothing more in life than to have an adorable little fox rabbit thing that makes cute mewing noises at me. And have it use Hyper Beam and level an entire city block. And then I've actually got one more question. This one I'm actually going to have to do a lot of research on. Screw you. Everything smells like copper. So, that's actually all the questions that I've got, guys. And it looks like I might be about out of time. I actually did not check to see when this when I started this video, so I'm going to give you guys a little behind the scenes look real fast. Let's see if... Oh, wow, yeah, we are about 10 minutes over. I apologize for that, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this in 2 parts. And that way you guys don't have to dedicate 45 minutes to watching this. You only have to dedicate 20 at a time. So, real quick, gotta do the usual thing, guys. Want to give a huge shout out to everyone that asked questions. If you guys want to ask your own questions, you can hit me up on Discord. I'm going to put my tag in the description below. I'm going to put Discord's website in the description below, so you can download the app or you can use the browser to find me. You just need to search my name. Make sure you put in the number below, or I should say next to my name. and you guys can message me there. My phone is still dead, so that's also, that and Facebook are probably the best ways to get a hold of me. If you have a question and you want to ask it, you can do it through one of those two methods, or you can just post a comment below. I don't name names. You guys just saw me answer 10 freaking questions, and I didn't name anyone. And I really wanted to name that last one because screw you, that's why. Big shout out to Spitfire for allowing me to shamelessly advertise this on her Discord. I'm going to put her Discord channel below, and if you guys want to check out any of her content, you're more than welcome to. Just let her know that you're there because you followed the link that I posted. You guys don't have to join. It's just there if you guys want to see what she's about. She's, I think, actually doing a playthrough of Mass Effect 3 and posting that. So I will confirm that, and if so, I'll be sure to post that in the description because she's running quite a few mods. Another shout out to Fiaura the Tank Girl, whose YouTube channel and Twitch are both going to be below as well, in addition to her Discord. Both of these are great communities. You guys have been seeing little pop-ups over here, there, I'm not sure where it's appearing for you guys constantly. And that's just been on one of the channel within one server. Oh, and one private message. Yeah, apparently I have to completely exit out of Discord for it to not do this. I didn't know that. Whoopsies! So, I'm going to put all of that below. You guys are more than welcome to join either Discord or neither of them or both of them. If you're at all curious about science or My Little Pony or Warhammer 40,000, definitely Fiaura's channel is a good place to go. If you're curious about any of the wargaming or Armored Warfare, World of Tanks, World of Warships, Spitfire's Discord has all of that. She's a real big player of, I believe it's World of Tanks that she plays. It might be Armored Warfare. I don't honestly know offhand. I should ask her to be sure. And then we've got a rather large community of other players as well. And we've got a lot of tabletop players, so if you guys are looking for a tabletop community to get into, you can jump in with Fiaura's group also and talk to people there. We use Roll20 for our tabletop games, which is a free website that's fairly easy to use. We've got D&D players, we have Fallout Equestria players, and we've got some people that play some odd stuff as well. So, with all of that said, I hope this one was less cringy and less rambly for you guys. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys next time. Once again, Bones, make sure you guys post whatever questions you've got. I don't care how inane it is. I don't care how silly it is. Send it to me. And for the love of God, if you're going to send me one that's going to be complicated, which I recommend, I welcome this. Understand it's going to be a while because I've got 3 scientific articles to read now. And about 6 different explanations for theories that I need to learn. So, this next one. So when that one is done, I will be uploading a video just related to that one question because it's going to be a long one. So, this has been me. Everyone take care, peace out, and stay awesome, guys.